Welcome to part 3 of 3 essentials to a more reliable PCC. Special guest Robert Jones. Today he's going to give us a detailed account on how he tunes a triggering system for his PCC. Stay tuned.
Hey there guys, let's talk trigger systems real quick. We talked about the buffer systems and the bolts exclusively, so let's kind of hit on the triggers. So as mentioned before, this is the PDI trigger. This is the dedicated PCC trigger, and if you see back here, it has a buffer. So as that hammer slams back, it's got something padded to kind of slam into. It works really well. I personally like the PDI trigger. If you read reviews on it, again, you know, it's up to you. It's a personal preference, I think. It has a little bit more take up than maybe, say, the C24. But I'll tell you, at speed, I haven't really noticed a big difference with that. It's a fast trigger. It's very positive. You've got this straight, you can get it in different configurations. I like the shoe, some guys don't. Anyway, so what does that mean in a PCC? So dedicated PCC trigger. All right, we talked about the bolt setups and what that looks like. And when you're tuning these systems, so whatever trigger system you run, if you choose the PDI, then this would really apply. And your bolt and the reset. And what does that reset look like? So with the hammer all the way there, all the way back. So gun in battery, it cycles back to take on a new round. So as we can see here, and hopefully you guys can see this, trying to get this in here as much as I can. So this being your ejector, obviously the bolt only needs to come back to about here to get the case out of the gun. But the trigger's not reset. So the bolt needs to come back, at least this one does, needs to come back all the way back to this point in order to hit the full reset. That's pretty far back. So that creates some challenges for you in terms of this short cycle or the short stroke JP system in tuning it. And you need to take note of that. As I mentioned in the previous video, if the gun is short cycling, and this action happens so fast it's hard to see, if you go to your range and you do a slow-mo video, maybe you can pick it up, maybe you can't, but once this gets past the ejection port, you're probably not going to see it. So if you have somebody else that can watch you and can watch the gun, you can slow the video down, you can play it back, you can kind of see what your bolt's doing. That's going to kind of tell you, you know, what you might be up against. But nonetheless, this is the mechanics of it right here. Can't go wrong. This bolt needs to go back. This particular bolt needs to go all the way back this far in order to hit the PDI trigger reset. In order to then reset the trigger, and now you can run the gun. So that's trigger 101 in relationship to the lower and the bolt and resetting, and what you should be looking for in tuning your gun. Good luck, guys.
Are you ready? Stand by.